Welcome back, everybody. We have Nick Chang. Hi, Nick. Say hi. Nick Chang will be your Finance Friday coach today. If anybody wants to learn from Nick Chang and how to wear Mickey Mouse underwear or diaper, when are you going to be a big boy? How old are you? How old are you? What's Dada's name?
Daniel Chang.
Bye from Daniel Chang. Bye-bye.
Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit vintagemagic.com.
All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Finance Friday today. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you had a great week. So this video is going to be all about from one of my students from my Magic the Gathering University. Haven't really figured out the exact name. Maybe it's going to be called Vintage Magic University. No, it's not like Trump University, but maybe something similar in the sense that we'll be teaching you, I guess how to invest, collect, create a business, create a relationship with vendors to actually have a legacy for your family long term so you can be financially successful in the world of magic or investing or other business ideas you may have. It doesn't really matter. So one of my students, Matias from Spain, hola, Matias. I just got off the phone with him on Skype, and great guy. He has a YouTube channel. He has almost 1 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. Incredible. And he wants to invest in Magic the Gathering cards. Invest. Let me be clear. I'm not saying he wants to be a business. See, the course, I haven't really structured it in the sense that it's like a official university. It's more catered to what you're looking to do. And Matias actually has been upfront, and I like that. He tells me, you know what, Dan? I want to take the money I make and put it towards Magic Gathering investing. Meaning I want to hold it, and then I want to sell it long-term as more of a retirement thing possibly, or maybe sooner, but I'm not going to flip it, that type of thing. So it's not like a business like that. Okay. For those of you watching who are more collectors, it's players, collectors, investors, right? That's kind of the categories. Those of you that are collectors, people are like, man, I got to have all of the sorts of plowshares ever made. All the lightning bolts. I have to have every single language and every single type of thing, artist proofs, whatever. I have to have it all. That is not an investor, and that is not something I'm talking about here. Nick, you want to say hi? Nick says hi. Nick, what are you doing? Okay, go back, go watch. So, Nick, stop stuffing your face with food. Go. Okay, all right, back to the topic. So what's going on here is that collectors tend to just have more of a nostalgic, feel-good feel, like feels great feel, kind of an affinity towards specific things. Now, an investor, in this case, Matias, actually likes and loves older cards. So I think his investment, he's been very clear that I want to invest in older Magic cards. Okay, so he's not saying he wants to invest necessarily in reserve list cards. It's basically older Magic cards. ABU, revised dual lands, that whole thing, right? Hold on a second. What are you doing? You're wasting the video. What are you doing? Say, I'm Nick. Say hi. Hi there. Okay, let's go. I'm going to turn this. Okay, guys, I'll cut this part out. Come on, let's go. What are you guys doing? All right, and we're back. Sorry about that. So Nick apparently just wanted to say hi. All right, Matias. That's Nick. All right, so here's the deal. And let's get back on topic. Matias wants to be more of an investor in this project. He's not looking to collect specific cards, but there is a specification. He only wants to focus on older Magic cards because one day his type of business will be older Magic, old school selling in some way. Okay, that's fine. It's good to be focused, but I would say, maybe too focused, maybe not so much. Always keep your eye out as an investor for deals. See, the problem with only having older cards and not other things, maybe artist proofs, alters, pimp cards, whatever, maybe some artwork. I don't know. It kind of narrow minds you in that kind of hole where it's kind of like, man, that's all I got. I'm only going to do older cards. But what about sealed product? Sealed product tends to be very investable too, right? If there was a guy who said, hey, you know what? I want to get out my Alliance boxes. I'll give you $200. $200 a box. I have 30 boxes. Buy them all. Are you not going to buy them? Obviously you will if you have the capital. So it's very, very, very important to, as an investor, to get involved in deals. It's not about specifics, you know what I mean? All right, so as far as what I would do to start out here is I would focus a lot on, first off, right now with the Corona crap going on, you're not able, what? Hold that Nana. What are you doing? All right, God. Jesus. And we're back for the 80th time. All right, Jesus. I'm telling you guys, when you guys have a kid, when you get to that point in your lives, it is effing nuts. All right, so let's kind of recap here. Matias is an investor. He doesn't want to collect, but he wants to focus on older collectibles, old school stuff. And that's what he grew up with. It's kind of what he knows, and that's fine. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of all this. So the question posed is, what am I going to do with my working money? Now, right now, I mentioned there's this Corona mess where he basically doesn't get that much income coming in because he gets YouTube revenue. Okay. His expenses are pretty low because he has other arrangements with his family and stuff. So that's good. He doesn't have a lot of debt, that is. Really good. Really good. So it's a very clean balance sheet, which, gotta say, that's the smartest way to go when you're investing and get starting out. He's also in his early 20s, or mid 20s. And the idea here is that that's important because he could take more risk. And that's important to understand. So here's what I would think. My first recommendation to him was I would not put money to work right now until we figure out, what exactly is going on with the Corona thing. Main reason why is you're not going to be able to know how much income you're coming in and stuff because he relies solely on YouTube videos. And right now is a dangerous time because he's not getting much work. So obviously, if the money coming in is not really high, but you have low bills, it presents a situation where you're not selling out, but you have to be very conservative on what you buy and how you invest. Now, he does have, I think, around $5,000 like extra money. I think it's in euro or something, 5,000 euros. So that could be a seed money. That could be money to use towards a collection if it's, obviously it's too good to be passing up, right? One of the things that I talked to him about today was I asked him a question. Matias, do you have a Facebook? He said, no, I don't. I go, why not? He goes, well, I haven't really had to use it. I do the YouTube, I do some Instagram. I said, sign up for Facebook. Facebook has revolutionized the way we've done marketplace and business now. I'm not referring to Facebook Marketplace. I'm referring to Magic Deals. Nowadays, there's these groups, right? Facebook groups that there's lots of groups. There's if you just type in the search, you can look for like old school groups, old school only gaming groups, old school collections, luxury, MTG, doesn't matter, right? Artist proof group, every group. There's, I don't know, man. There's probably like hundreds, if not thousands of Facebook groups on eBay or on Facebook. And that is an opportunity that you're missing out on. If you are looking to invest, You have to be on Facebook. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter if you don't like social media. Stop the video. Quit on me now. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, if you're not going to go on Facebook to invest, you're making a huge mistake. The reason why is that Facebook has a lot of people on there, and a high amount of people, a lot of pictures, information, instant messaging. It's a quick way to do business. It's almost as if I'm walking to the store, I can just pick up some groceries and check out. It's almost that fast. And it's even faster than that because you don't even have to drive to the blasted store. You can just buy it right there, PayPal the guy the money, the guy will mail it to you. Obviously, there's a speeds thing there, but it's super fast. It's convenient, obviously, convenient. So Facebook is the number one, I think, other than eBay, TCG Player, type of thing. Another thing that I like to do, I don't know if anybody's done this before, but I like to work with eBay sellers. Okay, very, very important. You have to start getting very good about eBay. eBay, like it or not, I know they charge fees, whatever, but they are the king of the auctioning stuff. eBay, I remember back in the day, things were a little janky, kind of weird. You weren't really able to kind of, the website wasn't that great. The protection was kind of blah. Whatever you hear from Rudy, don't listen to him. Some of the things he says are true. Some of them are just BS. I'll tell you the BS part. Number one, eBay, like this whole thing about the fear factor about scamming, he's wrong about this because yes, there are people that scam, but the percentage of them, most people are good. He does say that. He does recognize and say, well, most people are good. Well, that's the truth. Most people, most sellers, most buyers on eBay are good. Just like most people in your community are good, right? So there's an inherent trust and a reputation you have to build. Also, if you can also identify scammers and not legitimate things as an investor pretty easily. There are things like low feedback, shitty pictures, bad lighting. You email them and they're giving you bad communication, or they have some kind of standardized thing saying, oh, I'm from South Africa and I'm from this country, a foreign country, and I basically want your money. Give me your bank account info. What the hell are you talking about? That's equivalent of an email that you would get on your Yahoo or whatever. It's spam. It's the same crap. So use common sense. Don't just buy from people because it looks like, oh, wow, a beta booster box. That's $5,000. I'm going to buy it. Don't be a victim. See, the thing is, people want to play the fear factor, the victim card. But you as the investor, you as the buyer, collector, whatever it is, have to understand that you have to do your diligence and make better decisions. That is part of investing. Investing 101. If you do not do your diligence, do not do your homework, you should not be investing. All right, so back right at it. So as far as your ability as an investor, you just can't go ahead and just buy something and not do the research. It's your responsibility to make sure you are not a victim. All right, so when I say about working with eBay sellers on eBay, what I'm referring to is partnering with them in the sense that you can message them on eBay. Now, this is a tricky thing. Here's the secret. The thing with eBay now is that they are watchdogging you, writing emails or giving personal contact phone numbers. In fact, you can actually get kicked off eBay now if you message people and say, hey, here's my phone number, call me. If one of them, the buyer or the seller, reports each other some way, something triggers especially, you could get kicked off. You can get a warning first, and after a few warnings, you can get kicked off eBay indefinitely. So you have to be very careful. So what do? How do I contact these sellers? Now, first off, let's go back to the very beginning here. Identifying items that you're interested in. As I was telling Matias on my phone call, first thing you do is you look for items that are from sellers who really haven't listed them in the correct manner. You might be like, well, Dan, that's unethical. Dan, that's not right. No, that's their fault. As a seller, and learn it. By the way, for those of you in my Magic Business class, if you are not selling the item, titling the item, giving enough pictures, description items, and then you basically get less bids, right? It is your fault. You need to offer, give the buyer as much confidence and information so they can bid higher on the items or buy it, right? That's up to you. So as an investor, in this case as Matias, he should look for items that are titled wrong or titled incorrectly or not given the much information. You should look for items that the condition is way better than what is advertised. There might be a picture of a card that's extremely, really nice, but the guy has it as, I don't know, don't really know the condition, maybe handled. Handled? What the hell does that mean? That's not even a grade. Handled, right? But there's people that don't understand. So you're going to find that often in eBay, right? There's sellers who don't understand. Another thing you'll realize is that you can also then contact the seller in the sense that you want additional pictures and such. And some sellers slip up and they give information to you like, hey, here's my email. I can send you more pictures here. Take that to your advantage. Don't be the guy who's saying, hey, I want to buy this off eBay. I want to save the fees. Now, obviously, as an investor, you want to offer that, but you can't on eBay. You can't circumvent it, right? I've seen people email pictures of their email, and then eBay catches them and kicks them off. So you've got to have a website or a Facebook or something. And this is why I keep saying to people, you have to have Facebook. You have to have that communication, because on eBay, you can basically put on your eBay profile or there's like informational, right? When you click on the eBay ID, you can write what you're interested in. You can write your website, your Facebook, whatever, right? I think you can write your phone number, whatever. And I think you have to create a store or something, a basic store that allows you to essentially give your personal information. So one of the things you could do is you could say, hey, check out my eBay store. I'm interested in your buying more products from you. Hint, hint, right? But that's not a way to say, hey, look for my email, look for my whatever. Check out my eBay store profile. Check out my store profile, right? That's not breaking the rules, because you're already looking at the profile that's on eBay, and you're allowed to write your information because it's like customer service, right? Like, hey, you're buying from Vintage Magic, and if you go on there, right, my eBay store, you're able to find my information, stuff like that. So that's an interesting way to basically go through that line. Now, I don't just look for items that are just like sellers who just don't know what they're listing. I look for items that are actually people of legitimate caliber stuff. Maybe auction or buy now items and best offer items. And you want to be sure you're looking at a range. You're not looking for just specific cards, if that makes sense. You want to look for a variety of cards, lots, collections, keywords like that, MTG lot, MTG collection, dual lands, power 9, and search by auction specifically, right? Deals you can bid on. Have a lot of watch lists. Look for items that are incredible deals that you want to bid last minute. You want to be able to target those items as an investor. Look and schedule your clock. If it's a bidding thing where there's a lot of things ending, you have to bid last minute. Make sure you're prepared to bid. Now, again, none of this is foolproof, right? There's going to be times where you're busy with family, whatever the hell happens, right? You're not going to be able to win every single item. Don't feel bad. However, if you really, really think that there's an item that you don't want to miss, bid a large amount up front so you can protect yourself, because if you happen to fall asleep or something happens, right, and it's an odd time of the day, because people list them at weird times of the day, right, you're able to actually bid on the item. Now, remember, pro tip is do not buy items that are just because you love them nostalgic-wise. One of the things I find people always do is they buy items that they're familiar with. That's not how you make money. Just because I know a specific card like Birds of Paradise or Savannah Lions, or I like Force of Natures, I like them. But is that a good investment? So it brings you to the part about research. It's really important to research eBay. The completed and sold listings are the key. Sold listings. You want to be able to see if an item actually sold or not. And then you can research kind of what the average price of what's going on. All right, so now that you've done some research, it's important to understand that the past items on eBay sold and everything does not mean that the item is what it is now. So it's kind of a multi-screen thing. You're going to have to look at what the current listings are available, how many there are, how much supply there is, then look at past sales. And see, the problem is a lot of investors look at things and such like, wow, you know, a revised tropical island was going for $200 or $75, and now they're $210. So that's a great buy, right? It may not be, because the market may have tons of listings right now on auction or something, and the market's going down because of the Corona situation. And the price might go less and less. So ultimately, as an investor, you have to look at cash flow, your current, type of investment, principal investment you want to invest in, and then buy into that. If you're doing my class, if you're working with me, I will go through more specifics, but this is more of a generalized thing. But the good thing about this is more about websites, things to look for, and that's why I think it's critical. All right, so I talked a little about eBay. What about like TCG Player and like Channel Fireball, Star City Games, Card Kingdom, ABU Games, all the bigger websites out there? Is it worth the time to research and do deals? Well, to answer the question, yeah and no. I'll be honest. Here's the reason why. Even Troll and Toad's involved. They're kind of, over the years, they've kind of toned down a little bit in their inventory of older stuff. So I would say the reality is, you're probably not going to find the best deals with other vendors, but you might find stragglers. And what I mean by that is that there might be things that are not listed appropriately, or they're listed in lower condition, but they're actually better quality when you get them in person. So look for value opportunities, right? Another thing why other vendors are good is because when the market's hotter and an item is going to go back up and you have to add positions and stuff, you can get a guaranteed amount from them fast, and they're more of a trusted seller. So you have that ability where hey, I know Star City Games, I know ABU Games, they're online all the time, they're big, right? So you're going to get a large amount. You may pay more in some cases. Some cases you might acquire positions and pay more. But all in all, it might be a wise move. In fact, I have spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, on some of these vendors, right? In general, just buying cards over the years. So keep in mind that buying from other vendors is not necessarily a bad thing. It's not a preferred thing. But what's also good about them is their research. They tend to have programs to update their pricing, but their inventories might change. Keep in mind, if the inventory is 0 for an item, but it's an old price, let's say it's lower or something, do not think that the price is now worth that. Just the same way where, let's say a price is higher and they have no items in there. The reality is that they don't have the ability to change the pricing. It's a pricing issue, right? And don't trust a vendor just because the pricing's on there. For me, like one of the biggest problems of having a website is managing the pricing. You have to literally have a program or peoples to essentially manage the pricing up and down. And for me, as a one-man show in this whole thing, I have to list my prices higher and offer a best offer thing on my website. I'll be implementing, hopefully later this year or next year, it's kind of a pop-up saying, hey, look, pricing is essentially negotiable. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to update the pricing dynamically, but you can contact us for the best price at that time. And see, that's the hardest part about having a website, is that as a vendor, when you're buying from a vendor, the pricing, they could come back to you and be like, hey, look, no, the pricing is now higher. The pricing, that's the hardest part. They cannot dynamically change it. So it's something to consider when you're dealing with vendors. Now, people have asked me, well, TCG Player, is that an effective way also? TCG Player is basically effectively a lot of vendors. It's kind of like an eBay, but they're all store functionality. They're all buy it nows, right? I don't think they do any auction stuff. They also have a thing called TCG Direct where you can get it from them directly. I think that's cut off right now because of the coronavirus thing, because of people handling the cards. But when the economy gets back and working, it's an effective way to potentially get cards from a variety of vendors. But again, remember, the more different websites you work with, right, the more competition. eBay has a lot of competition. TCG Player has a lot of competition. So ultimately, the Facebook route, the one-on-one relationship, like maybe you work with a seller, right, on eBay, and then you built a relationship with that seller. You may have bought a smaller item, but they got his contact info, and then you're actually calling the guy and building deals, and they trust you, and you trust each other. You get more deals, right? So this is something to think about. It's very important that the relationships with your vendors, with the pockets of people that you work with, are not broken, in the sense that when you say you're going to buy something, you're going to buy it. You're going to make a deal. All right, guys, so I'm going to sum it all up. So thanks again for watching this video. This video is going to get really, really long, complicated. I don't want to overdo it, but today I want to sum it all up. We want to make sure, first and foremost, that if you're investing in Magic cards, you are doing your diligence on knowing what is real, what is fake, what is not. You do your research. Go to eBay, complete a listings. You go to TCG Player. You go to other websites, see where they're at. Make sure you're looking at the current market on eBay and other sites. Sign up for Facebook. Go to various Facebook groups, research and see where people are at on the market. Okay? Another thing I kept saying, underlying theme is build relationship with your vendors if you're an investor. That means that you have to be a trusted buyer. That means that when you say you buy something, you're going to buy it and not just bulk out the deal. If you plan on just canceling deals, not doing deals, no one will do business with you. Read my lips. No one will do business with someone that cancels deals. In fact, I have a strict policy. If you cancel a deal with me, I don't do business with you ever again. In fact, I'll say, well, that last deal that you basically said that you were going to do, unless you honor it, if it's still applicable, then we're not doing business. And that's the reality. Some people might be like, well, I'll give you a chance. But those people, honestly, are few far in between, and they shouldn't even happen. So remember that. It's really important to understand that when you say you are going to buy something from someone, you're going to buy it. It doesn't matter if you pay more. Years ago, and I'll end it like this. Years ago, my business partner, when I first started my business, taught me that the golden rule in business is keeping your word. The only thing you have as a man is to keep your word. Doesn't matter if it's personal and in life. And that's the whole point, is that if you end up paying more, you did. And that's because you didn't do the research, you didn't make the right decisions. Now, if you basically buy something and you can't afford to do the personal things, a real personal thing that's proven, that's not just some made-up belief thing where you're lying to someone, that's a little different. But at the most part, at almost 99.999%, you should be buying the deals that you should buy, almost, or 100%. There's deals where I basically lost money instantly because I didn't do enough research in the beginning of my career, and I basically lost them, or lost money, but I still bought the deals. They actually turned out really good, and I'll tell you why. Because cards appreciate over time. Some may not rise instantly, but there's deals happen all the time, and they go up, sometimes very quickly, or if you are patient, exponentially over time. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Be safe. There's a lot to this video, more than what I'm saying. It's kind of an intro. Thank you, MTG business owners that are starting out. You guys are all doing really well. If you have questions, give me a call, shoot me a text. I want you guys to know that I am not a type of coach that will hear your problems about your excuses. I'm a coach that wants to see you have results. And if you're signing up for this program that I have, it better be because you want results. If you just want to talk to me about your problems in life, I have no time for that. I only have 25 people that will sign up for this. I think 13 people signed up already. I don't have time to deal with people that don't want to learn and grow a business and make money. All right? Take care, guys. And enjoy. Goodbye, Nick. This is what you guys will be. Hanging off the ledge if you don't do your business right. Goodbye.
Thank you everyone for supporting our channel. It means a lot to me that you're enjoying the content we're putting out there. I have a Patreon page that supporters have access to special perks and rewards. Become a supporter at patreon.com/vintagemagic. As a patron, you receive exciting pricing on sealed product, flash sales, annual gifts, and personalized consulting services from me. Again, thank you for subscribing to our videos and supporting the channel. I love meeting players, collectors, and investors all over the world. If you see me at a Grand Prix, please come by and say hi. I would love to meet you. Thank you everyone for your support and friendship. Thank you everyone for joining me. It's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com. I'm excited to share more about our appraisal services. All right, so the first step of the appraisal process is determining if your items are authentic. After determining that the items are authentic, we will then do a market evaluation of your items. So oftentimes clients ask me, hey Dan, I want to insure my collectibles. Well, after the authenticity and evaluation part of the appraisal process, I would then construct an official letter and we would send that off to the insurance company. Your insurance provider would then offer you insurance based on the evaluations and authenticity. We also offer pre-grading services. So collectors who are looking to save money on grading can go through us. We will actually grade and authenticate the cards before you send it off to grading, and that will save you potentially thousands of dollars on grading fees. Also, we offer estate collection services. So basically, if you've acquired a collection over the years, either from a family member or yourself, and you want to pass it down to your kids, we're able to determine valuations based on the levels of today.
Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit vintagemagic.com.